New patch, and it's the biggest patch we had in a while. Like, there's so many balance changes, actually, it's insane. And the season 4 is about to start. This update will be carried out at 8 AM on July 3 UTC time. Okay. Season rewards. Pink dog. I think someone will love this. I love the dog emotes. Very nice. Okay, here are the balance changes. New core units, Mountain and Farseer. So Mountain is available in the 1 vs 1 mode now. We made a video about that. And there's some balance changes. I never really played the FFA, so don't know how they changed it there. But in the test server we tested this. This was 1000, so this is a new change at least. And we guessed correctly what the anti-air ammunition does. So it decreases the whole attack by 50 and can attack air units now. Then Farseer has become a core unit and can now be freely unlocked and recruited in all modes. Attack plus 10%. Okay, so they buffed his attack. This I didn't realize. I thought they would just nerf this attack interval. So attack interval from 1.6 seconds to 2 seconds. And new tech burst mode. Each attack launches 12 missiles but increases loading time by 250. Electromagnetic explosion price from 100 to 150. I think like the photon is so needed. So I think this is a pretty good change that the Farseer is coming to, so you can unlock it every time. But I do think the unit is kinda imbalanced early on. So for me, like this unit falls off very quickly. But I feel like it's very broken on like round 2, 3, 4. Then at 5 it starts falling off, and late game like round 6, 7 it's terrible. So it's a big mistake to commit into this unit. I also think it reduces some variability. Like they want this unit to be an alternative counter to Wasps, for example. Which is good thinking, because Wasps don't have many counters. If you can handle Mustangs, like Wasps are insane. But at the same time, there's a lot of creativity in the game using like jump drive, Wasp, early rate, and selling your units. You lose a lot of tempo in favor of trying to cheese the enemy tower, stuff like that. But now I think you cannot play like that anymore. You can just unlock a Farseer, it actually counters everything. So I think it will become a staple of the game for people to go like one Farseer early game. The unlock cost is 50, by the way. New music. The music was pretty nice, actually. Community tournament page. There is now a dedicated page in the game to showcase community tournaments hosted by enthusiastic community members. We will continue to add more support for community tournaments in the future. Okay, nice. And then there's the balance. Free for all. Rebalanced all neutral unit setups and added a dozen more neutral unit setups. Significantly increased the supplies obtained when skipping unit reinforcement and rebalanced the cost of different types of unit reinforcement. Okay, so this is for FFA only. Wasp. Armor piercing bullets, price 200 to 100. I think this is actually, it's probably the worst technology in the game. Because if I remember correctly, it gives like 50% attack, but there's ground specialization and aerial specialization. Like the ground spec gives 200%. So I think if you can choose if you want to attack ground or air, you press those buttons and not this. Phoenix, launcher overload, price 250 to 200. This is a pretty powerful technology. It's comparable to charge shot, I remember Apuchi was running both Launcher Overload and Charge Shot at some point of the time, and he always took those technologies. The Phoenix damage was insane. So I wonder if we see some kind of comeback into that kind of build. Like the Phoenix is very powerful unit. And I'm not sure if buffing it is a good thing. Typhoon, experience required for rank up plus 18%. So this just means you need to recruit these guys at level 2. But it's a huge nerf. The Typhoon it's pretty underwhelming at level 1, and at level 2 it's pretty broken. So be careful when you play Typhoon. Just recruit them at level 2 now. It's gonna be fine. But it's a huge nerf. Fortress attack minus 6%. Rocket punch damage minus 20%. Rocket punch travel speed from 400 to 200. Okay, armor enhancement priced from 200 to 150. Launcher overload 200 to 150. Elite marksman from 200 to 150. Double shot from 150 to 100. Okay. I don't like these changes personally. Like, Fortress is my favorite unit. I love to play Rocket Punch, especially. And I feel like Fortress has been pretty bad in the meta, or Giants in general, apart from Overlord, I guess, and the Titans. But yeah, why are they nerfing its damage and the Rocket Punch damage? And then they are kind of buffing these technologies like Elite Marksman Double Shot, Launcher Overload. This all technologies will just get hard countered by Abyss, and Abyss was already the best thing you could build against Fortress. But I guess it makes sense that they are buffing them, since they are not that great anymore. But yeah, I don't think Fortress is a good unit, and then they are nerfing this. This is like how you should use Fortress, and they are nerfing it. A bit weird, I think. Fang, armor piercing bullets from 150 to 100. Ignite from 200 to 150. Yeah, the carry Fang has been terrible for a long time now. Maybe this can bring something back. At least the AP bullets is pretty good with some Fang drops. Maybe even like in standard, if you have Fangs as chaff and then the enemy goes Wasps, then instead of Mustangs you go range Fangs, and then you go AP bullets on them. I don't know. But if carry Fang is playable, pretty sure it's not, then these are like huge buffs. Both of these are great. Arclight armor enhancement price 150 to 100. They nerfed this at some point. It used to cost 100. I think this is a very good change. The Arclight is I love this technology on them. It has its place. So it seems like they are buffing all the armor enhancement technologies. Maybe this is a response to Mustangs being good. Hard to tell. Stormcaller anti-tank shells price from 100 to 150. Launcher overload price from 300 to 350. High explosive ammo price 200 to 150. Yeah, this AP bullets, I think it was super broken. It was super good. Probably still is. But the 100 cost point was pretty relevant, because at some rounds you had like round 2 you had 400 money. So you could recruit like one storm, one chaff, and press this button. And most of the storm technologies aren't that good because they can be intercepted in the late game. But I think we will see some high explosive ammo. Lay now, probably. In standard at least, against late fangs. And the launcher overload is good to combat the anti-missile. Sandworm anti-aerial now has plus 20 range modifier, so does this mean it can also target air? Similar to other aerial specialization stuff. If that's the case, it's pretty good. Burrow maintenance price 250 to 200, mech rates price 200 to 150, and movement speed is increased by 1. Yeah, I think both of these technologies are still stress. Actually, all three of them are. But the burrow maintenance is good on other modes, right? Like 2 versus 2, FFA, maybe anti-air as well. So maybe that affects them. Abyss, wreckage recycling now has plus 20% attack modifier. Okay. I think the Abyss needs attack to kill melting points. But usually the wreckage recycling is just if the enemy doesn't build a melting point. So I guess that helps. If you expect the enemy to not build a melting point, then you click this and then he builds a melting point and now it has more attack against the melting point. So it's like a win-win. So maybe this can be used now. But I don't think it's that good. Swarm missiles price 200 to 250. Yeah, this is the basically the only good technology the Abyss has. And it's getting nerfed, makes sense. Vertical sweep attack modifier from 30 to 50. I think this is probably a nerf to your Abyss still. Like it's actually a nerf. Like you click this and your Abyss does nothing afterwards. Like maybe if they want this to work, they need to price it at 0 and make it like untechable so you could switch it around. Or add an additional beam to the Abyss or something. That could be probably too powerful. But like additional beam with minus attack modifier would be pretty good, I think. Fire Batcher. Ignite price 200 to 100. Liquid Fire HP modifier minus 40 to minus 20. I don't know what this deck is called, by the way. Sometimes they use Napalm, sometimes it's Liquid Fire. I think it's Napalm in the game. But the Ignite is horrible. I don't think this has ever a use, even though it costs like 100. If it costs 0, it still wouldn't be good, I think. Hard to say. The unit has too small of a range for it to be good. This is kinda insane though. This technology is very good. I think the most relevant part where the HP buff matters is when you are playing against like a raid crawler. So now you can go fire with the Badgers and they don't die to the raids that quickly. I think that's where this matters the most. But it's a very good technology if the enemy is into heavy crawlers. Vulcan armor enhancement price 200 to 150. Yeah, okay, so they are actually buffing all the armor enhancements of the big units at least. I think it's pretty bad on Vulcan. Crawler acidic explosion price 200 to 150. Yeah, this is a pretty niche technology. I think it's good against worms, good against factories, sometimes good against aggressive fortress. I think you can play this deck. I have seen some players make a lot of use out of it. And it has been good when it has been good. I don't have that much experience playing with it. I have a lot of experience playing against it. But now that there's the Farseer with the photon, maybe it's not that good anymore. So maybe that's why they are buffing it. Could maybe be actually cheaper, but this is interesting. If you don't want to go any other crawler technologies and you have this available, it's sometimes very, very strong if you have the crawlers already in place in good positions. Rhino wreckage recycling now has a plus 20% attack modifier. Field maintenance price 300 to 200. Mech rage price 200 to 150. Yeah. Both of these are usable technologies. Like the armor is still by far the best, I think. But like it's certainly gonna be a thing where you go armor, field maintenance, Rhino, and photon it with the Farseer, right? I feel kind of strange that they are buffing this Rhino unit so much. I think it's super good unit. You get it from the unit drops, press the armor, then you go from there. I think it's pretty insane they're buffing this so much. I expect to see field maintenance more. Probably gonna change my Rhino technologies because of this. Definitely gonna put the field maintenance back on. Like, you might think that field maintenance bad because you need to counter the Rhino with like steel balls or melting points or whatever. And yeah, that is true, but even with the armor Rhino, it gives so much time for your other units to deal damage. So even if there's like a melter or steel balls locked onto the Rhino, it still survives for a very long time. Scorpion, field maintenance price 250 to 200, armor enhancement price 200 to 150. I think both these technologies are very strong. You can use both of them. I prefer the armor because I've been in many situations where I've countered the enemy like fortress or steel balls or something with scorpions. Like against balls I built my own scorpion. Maybe against fortress I get a scorpion drop and then we can use them. And the enemy pairs his units with mustangs. And then I go mustang as well and click the scorpion armor. I think it has been very good for me. Or both of us mass mustangs. And then I go armor scorpion and force him to build an answer for it. But yeah, both of them very good. Field maintenance better if you get like the level 3 scorpion drop and wanna cheese it. I think 200 is a pretty reasonable price to pay for it. At least if you have like redeployment or a deployment module, it's pretty insane. Hound fire extinguisher clearance range from 38 to 40. Now it can also clear smokes. Holy. This was actually my suggestion. Probably some other people also said that, but I've been saying this in my videos and in the balanced town hall meetings. I'm very glad they do it. My other suggestion would be that it clears oil as well. I hope they didn't include the oil just because like it doesn't make sense for a fire extinguisher to clear oil like in real life, right? I hope that's not the reason they excluded the oil. Armor enhancement price from 400 to 350. Okay. So better against mustangs. Makes sense. Longbow. Quick reload price 300 to 250. So this is probably marksman, right? Did it actually cost 300? I think it's not that great of a technology, or like it's super good late game if you play like standard, have like marksman board. It helps with targeting. But the double shot, there's so many unit drops in the game now. I think you need to play double shot if you wanna use marksmans usually. Because there's multiple situations where the enemy gets something you cannot kill. And you have the marksman in place for your single target damage. So you can click the double shot and actually try to kill the units. So while I think this technology could be good, I think there's no place in the technology bar for it. Raiden ionization targets HP reduction from 40% to 50%. So a big buff to ionization Raiden, which I think is already pretty insane. I use this technology a lot. I think it might be my most used Raiden technology even. I guess that says I don't use the Raiden that much, even though it's a pretty good unit. But certainly click this technology. It's good with units that can finish the enemy army. Like if you go Typhoon Raiden, click ionization, you can actually finish the enemies off with the Typhoons. This also works against enemies' level towers. So if it has like a level 5 tower, the ionization kills it pretty quickly. And obviously it's the biggest use case is against factory cheese. So when you get higher up in MMR, I think around 1800 maybe to 2000, you start seeing the game's end. Like when one player has less than 2000 health or 1500 health, there's gonna be a level 2 war factory with armor on the line, like I guarantee it. And that's when you click this button to kill it. It's pretty good. Overlord attack and HP nerf -3%. Field maintenance price 250 to 200. Armor enhancement price from 200 to 150. Yeah, both of this, like the boat is strong, I think. It's one of the strongest late game units in the game, in my opinion, with jump drive. At least, so you cannot die to the spells. So it makes sense they are nerfing it. It is a pretty hard unit to play though. It's hard to find the like exact correct spot to go Overlord. It's very hard to run out of chaff clear if you build it a little bit too early. And if you build it a little bit too late, you don't have damage. So it's hard to find the exact right round to build it. I think it's also quite hard to position in some cases. So I think the Overlord has a lot of skill to use, but it's also very powerful when it works. Both of these technologies can be used. They are super good. Like Mustang is one of the primary counters to Overlord. And if you have like armor, it's very strong. But at the same time, there's so many good technologies on the boat that can you really fit this in? Like ground cannon is good. Mothership is really good. Photon is good. Maybe now you can take off Photon. Then we have the combo of range overload, maybe with high explosive ammo. There's so many good techs. I guess high explosive ammo is in general a little bit similar to the armor, because both of them mean you cannot be countered by Mustangs. But at the same time, the high explosive ammo counters carry wasps, whereas this does not. The field maintenance could be good with like boat drop. If you get the unit reinforcement, like level 2 Overlord. But I think at that point it's probably better to just sell the biggest unit and recruit the level 2 factory. So I wouldn't be putting this on, but I think you can find ways for this to work. Good cheese technologies. Phantom Ray, high explosive ammo, splash range modifier from +5 to +7 and price from 100 to 200. This is a huge nerf. So why the high explosive ammo was good, I think, was because of the 100 price. You get the Phantom Ray drop, like 3 level 1 Phantom Rays or whatever, and then for only 100 you click this, so they add chaff clear. That was the main benefit. I don't think the benefit is that you actually build your army of Phantom Rays with like range high explosive ammo. So definitely a nerf. People have been playing this a lot though, like range HE Phantoms. Then if someone counters the builds anti-missiles, they just click the burst mode, or if there's like a factory or level 2 giants or whatever, they click the burst mode. It has been pretty effective, but I think now people have been know how to counter it, so it's not that good anymore. Death Knell, HP -16%, size to 7 squares, and upkeep from 200 to 150. Okay, so this is only FFA unit. And War Factory, upkeep from 200 to 150, health -16%, attack +16%. Okay, this we knew. So I was going to this season expecting for it to be complete War Factory fiesta. I was already mentally preparing to only build war factories, production war factories. But they are actually, they are aware of this and they are nerfing the production technologies. So Phoenix manufacturing production count from 6 times to 7 times. High explosive ammo price from 200 to 100. This is a good technology also, by the way, on the factory. Like it clears chaff surprisingly well with this technology. And now it's cheaper. Phoenix manufacturing production interval from 13 seconds to 15.6. Steel ball manufacturing from 6.5 seconds to 7.8 seconds. Sledgehammer manufacturing from 4.6 seconds to 5.5 seconds. So this is like a 20% nerf, right? Yeah, it's exactly 20% nerf to the production time. So it's quite insane nerf to the production factory. But I think the production factory still might be better now than it was before, right? So the upkeep has been buffed. And it has more attack. Like the HP isn't relevant in the production factory. So hard to say. It's either a buff or it's pretty similar. But the cheese factory, the level 2 factory with armor on the line, that has been nerfed a lot, like 16%. It's a lot. But it's still insane. Like usually there's a counter or there's not. I think there's not many cases where the factory lives with like 5% health. It usually either reaches the tower and kills the melter, or then the enemy has no answer for it and the factory lives with like 70% of HP. Specialist, removed Farseer specialist. Very interesting. I hope we get it back. Like they did this to the Saber specialist, right? They when they moved the Saber to the normal pool, they added the technology reduction cost to the Sabertooth specialist. So maybe this can be the same. Reinforcement, orbital bombardment price 100-150. Okay, and it can no longer appear twice in a match. when selected. Missile strike card level from 1 to 2, and the cost is increased by 50 when card level increases. So now the missile strike costs 50. I think it's a very powerful spell. Does make a lot of sense. Underground threat, earliest appearance round 2 to 3. Okay, I don't think the underground threat was problem at round 2 though. I think the wasp farm was problem at round 2. Why are they not doing this to the wasp farm? Ion Blast can no longer be selected multiple times in a single match. Okay, so it appears all of the spells are can be selected once in a match. So Orbital Javelin, Lightning Storm, Acid Bomb, Electromagnetic Blast, Nuke. Then some items. Improved Fire Control System attack modifier from 70 to 65. Haste module attack modifier from 40 to 35. Amplifying core price from 100 to 150. Portable shield price from 100 to 150. Heavy armor HP modifier plus 80 to 75. Enhancement module attack modifier plus 20 to 25. HP plus 20 to 25 and price 250 to 300. This is insane to me. Like, they are nerfing. I think the Orbital Bombardment, it's like a problematic spell, but usually it's pretty similar against both players. Like, both players just pick the card and be done with it. But the other cards, they are like game-winning cards. Like, late game, something like this appears, the other player just loses the game on the spot. So I don't like these changes at all, or I like them, but they are like nerfing the items while keeping the spells the same. I've been waiting for so long for them to rework the spells. Like, the spells are way too strong. And now they are nerfing the items instead of the spells. I think should nerf both. Like, the item changes make a lot of sense. But I think you are not picking the items in favor of the spells. Or like, you pick the spells instead of the items. Even before these nerfs, so. Then the enhancement module. I think it's a very good item, like one of the strongest cards in the game. But I think the problem here is intensive training being combined with it. So I kind of don't like the nerf. I think they might want to do something for the combo. I don't know. I guess it's fine. Network optimization. Over the past few months, players using certain telecommunication carriers have reported to us that they often experience disconnection issues after 7 to 8 rounds. After investigation, we suspect that there may be a very small number of telecommunications carriers whose maximum transmission unit is abnormally small. Okay, sure. No more disconnects for some people. Bug fixes. Fixed multiple issues that caused the game to freeze. Fixed multiple display issues. Oh, that's it. It's big patch, lots of changes. Yeah, I kind of like this. I'm pretty happy about the factory changes, or I'm not happy. I actually want them to get rid of the armor cheese factory. And this doesn't do it. It's way too small of a buff. That's the biggest thing for me. They should just get rid of the factory cheese. I don't like it one bit. But I was expecting for this season to be heavy War Factory production, but they nerfed that as well, so that's good. So everything going into the right direction. I think the armor enhancements were like, why are they buffing it? Is they reasoning the Mustang? Maybe. I think Mustang is it's like a double-edged sword. I think if you build Mustang too early against units that it's not good against, it's like a trash unit, it's a big trap. You can force players into Mustangs, then roll over them with like armor sledges or whatnot, tarantulas. But if the enemy presents you an opportunity to build Mustangs and they're good, like he goes like Fangs and Wasps along with his units, and you build Mustangs, it's gonna just take over the game. So Mustangs on the right spot is one of the best units in the game, I think. So maybe that's the reasoning for the armor. Interesting changes. Excited to play this season. So, see you next time.